I just opened this bag of screws, and of course all the screws had to come flying out of the bag and end up into this box. Gosh, it sounds like a farm in here. So let's see how many screws we have left, and then we'll know how many we gotta find. I have 5, so half of them are gone. And here's the 6th right here. And here's the 7th. And I can see one right here. 8. And I see 2 right there. That might be all of them. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yep, just these 2 down here. I used to have like a magnetic thing on a stick somewhere floating around here, and that would have been very convenient right about now. Come on, number 10. My fingers are too big, I can't get it. Let's see if I can get it with these pliers. Oh, for heaven's sakes. You gotta be kidding me. This is par for the course with this. Because this whole thing was a debacle from the beginning. The whole reason why these screws even exist now. Okay, this is way more difficult than it should be. Way more difficult than it should be. Now I'm actually getting a little bit annoyed by this. Am I going to really have to take all this out of here? Yep, I gotta take all the stuff out of this box. Okay, there's the screw. Okay. Almost 4 minutes later. Here's the screws. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, we've got 10 screws. These screws are for Doug's Freak Show fan, and that's why it's kind of ironic that the screws opening was a freak show, because this whole situation was a freak show. For those that are not familiar with that video, this is a ceiling fan from one of Kevin's relatives. I think that's what it was anyways, maybe I'm recalling correctly, but he brought the fan over, and the screws that were in the box that he brought over didn't go to the fan, which really didn't make any sense. And so we went out to the store to get some screws, and we had to end up going to like, I think 3 or 4 different stores to try to find the screws that would fit, and the ones that we got only semi-fit. I guess it's like a weird case where the screws are either metric and supposed to be standard, or standard and supposed to be metric, which is such ironic naming because the metric is what's standard in the rest of the world. But it was such that the thread length was similar enough for the first couple of screws that it would thread into the hole, but then it became dissimilar enough after a certain number of threads and would not tighten properly. So we stopped threading instead of forcing it, because you shouldn't force things. But these screws were too long anyways, so we had to put a washer and a bolt there. So some of this is kind of stuck in there. Oh, for heaven's sakes. One of the washers just fell in here. So this is nice stainless hardware. I believe we'll keep that for something else. But these are thought to be the correct screws. Now these to me appear to be a pretty much identical match, so quite possibly there is a mistaken understanding of what these screws are supposed to be. But let's try it before we say that, because it might work just fine. And perhaps the difference is just too small to see, but I don't know. It sure seemed like the threads were interlocking perfectly. I hope this does work, but I don't think that it's going to. Let's see. Hopefully it does, because then we can try this fan with less concern about the blades flying off. But well, there you go. It's threading in properly. And it's not hitting the windings. So we're good here. So you can see from that previous picture where I had the screws side by side, the difference is so small it really can't even be seen. But it's enough such that the screw will jam when you try to screw it in. So it does matter. Alright, that's a good fit. Those work perfectly. So now we'll just go ahead and swap out the rest of them. This got the job done for the test, but it was not ideal. Not at all. And this is kind of stuck in here. It's a shame this fan is in such bad condition, because it's a pretty good fan. It's quite powerful. The screwdriver is almost out of charge. Alright, perfect. The screws now fit properly, and although they're not the correct finish, it's not really noticeable, and chances are these are much better quality screws than what it came with originally.